Adam here, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm giving you my honest review of the 2024 Volkswagen Atlas. This is the Comfortline with 4Motion all-wheel drive. I've driven this SUV for over 25,000 kilometers, so I've got some solid insights to share. Let's dive right in. Stick with me until the end as I share some tips, especially regarding the auto start-stop feature. The 2024 Volkswagen Atlas Comfortline is a mid-size SUV that packs a punch. Here's some quick specs on this girl. The engine, a 2-liter 4-cylinder turbocharged, producing 269 horsepower. Fuel economy on this is 11 liters per 100 kilometers combined, so 13 in the city, 9.2 on the highway, not great. Tires on the Comfortline that I'm running are 245/60 R18. MSRP starts at around 50,995 Canadian. This one left the dealer's lot closer to $65,000, which I think is plenty. It's a 7-seater SUV, so yeah, let's go check it out. Let's start off with the exterior of this beast. So like I said, this is the Comfortline 7-seater SUV 2024 model, and overall I think aesthetically pleasing, pretty sleek looking unit. It has fake exhausts here. So these are fake tips, the exhausts. It does have dual exhaust, but they actually do point underneath directly. So you can see that there, which is kind of funny to me. This one does come with a trailer hitch tow package, so that's pretty sweet. But yeah, overall, decently pleasing looking SUV. It's got the LED projector lights on it, so relatively easy to see at nighttime. I would say the overall lighting is actually really good. There you have it. We will start at the back and then work our way forward here. It has a power lift gate, so you can actually access this as well with your foot. So you just tap it underneath here like that, and it will then open up. Super handy when you are carrying groceries, etc. into the vehicle. Lots of storage in the back here. You can flip this up as well. This is where your spare tire is located. So that's kind of cool. So I keep my slime in here in case I get a flat, tire plugs, etc. Your jack and whatnot for tire changes is also underneath here as well. So keep that in mind. Your breaker bar and your jack from factory, and then your spare tire is under here. So relatively easy to get access to your spares, which is kind of nice. These seats do fold forward like so, all the way flat. I currently have a Golf set in here, so I cannot do that. But yeah, it gives you a ton of cargo space if you fold these all the way down. Very cool. Pull this to pull it back. And then push button electric. Lots of room in the rear. I'm 6 feet, just over 200 pounds, and I have plenty of head and leg room in here, which is kind of nice. So we can check that out. We do have a couple USB-C ports down below here for the passengers, as well as rear climate control. So that's kind of nice. But yeah, I'm 6 foot and I have plenty of leg room here. So I have a good, 8 to 10 inches between myself and the forward seat, which is where I usually sit. So I have this actually almost all the way back, which is kind of nice. But yeah, fake wood interior here on the door panels. We have real leather stitched, so that's kind of cool. Cup holders. One complaint I do have is the cup holders here are a little small, so you can put a water bottle in there, at least in the Ford one, but in the rear it's just, diameter is just too small. To get anything of real size in there, we've got LED roof lights in here as well. So relatively bright, and yeah, this kind of gives you an interior view from a passenger perspective in the mids. And then I'll flip the camera around here and you can see the headroom as well that I have. So yeah, quite a bit of headroom actually. Like I have a good, again, probably a good 5-6 inches here for myself, as well with the grab handle here. Relatively easy to access. So I like having these handles. These are often overlooked in a lot of SUVs, but I think this is pretty slick in my opinion. And then same thing, you have a decent view of the rear. So 7-seater, so 2 seats up front, 3 in the mid, and then 2 in the rear as well with adjustable headrests. So great for kids if you're doing long road trips. It's fantastic to be able to throw them in the back and not always have that noise right behind your ear. But anyways, that's about all I can tell you as far as the rears go. So let's move up to the front. It does have keyless entry as well, so as long as the fob's in your pocket, it has proximity sensors, so as you get close, the doors will unlock. What I don't like is you would think that would automatically lock, but it does not do that as well. So when you exit the vehicle, you actually have to physically press your fob, which in my opinion is kind of crazy. You would think if it has proximity entry that it would actually have proximity lock as well, but you physically have to take your key fob here and actually hit the lock button, which is kind of crazy in my opinion. Yeah, so this is what the front looks like here in the cabin, the driver's seat. We're just gonna rotate the camera around here again, and yeah, here you go. So this is the dash, everything's digital here, so you can change this entire infotainment center here on the dash. Yeah, once again, fake wood grain paneling around. That's kind of a theme that they stuck with on this particular trim. And then you can have a look here to the back. So Yeah, definitely not terrible. Passengers do also have a grab handle or a holy hell handle. And then here you have, yeah, a visor with a mirror built in as well. Not too bad. And then up here you have your SOS features. So yeah, it needs to be connected to a cellular service. It's not like GM's OnStar where it's subscription based. So you do have to make sure that your phone is connected. But in case of emergency, you hit this button and it will call out for support. So where that goes, I'm not sure if it goes to your local dealer or if it actually dials 911. Rear view mirror is okay, not great. I have my dash cam here mounted in front of that as well. And then, yeah, the driver's side visor is all right as well. Kind of a small mirror, but not terrible. So yeah, overall a decent interior. The shifter, I think, is something to be desired. Like, in my opinion, if you're gonna have this little chicken nugget shifter down here for forward drive and reverse and neutral, I would rather this be flush. And yeah, I like to put my laptop in here. So the issue right now is this is enough real estate for a laptop, but you have this little chicken nugget sticking out here. I don't know if you guys can see or not, but it sticks up about a 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch. And I find that a real pain. The other thing is everything that you need to do is like touch sensitive. So we will fire the vehicle up and I'll go into some of those settings as well. This is another huge dislike in my opinion. You know, for a mid-range SUV at this price point, I really don't like this here. It's very busy. Like I said, you want to adjust, you jump into the vehicle, you want to adjust your climate, you have to hit this touch sensitive control and then go in here and adjust all your settings. You know, auto, you want to turn on your seat heater. It's no longer a physical button down here. You have to go into this menu and actually adjust. So, which is kind of crazy. So no matter what you do here, you literally have to press at least 2 to 3 times. So climate, adjust your seats, and again, and then your rears as well. So all that is in here. It has air care where it apparently literally sucks out if something smells in here, or you drive through an area of smoke, it will actually draw that scent out of the vehicle. So I don't know if it's a cool feature or not, I'm not sure, but once again, a lot of sub menus in here. I find this very difficult to navigate and just really not very intuitive at all. So yeah, Volkswagen really didn't do a good job on this at all. Keep in mind that, guys, this is my personal vehicle, so this is not a sponsored video at all. This is literally my honest review on what I think. And my biggest gripe with this vehicle is this whole entire infotainment center. It shows up fingerprints like nobody's business with this gloss black finish all the way down. I mean, it doesn't matter how clean your hands are, you will have fingerprints on here, and that runs the entire width of this vehicle, and I can't stand that, in my opinion. Yeah, you want to change driving modes, you hit modes here, and then you can go from eco, comfort, sport, custom, off-road. There's various settings that you can adjust. One thing to note that when you are in sport mode, auto start stop is disabled, so that's awesome. When you're in regular mode though, if you go back here just to, let's go back to comfort mode, which is typically what I run it in. So as soon as you start the vehicle, depending if you have an Android or iPhone, you'll have this screen, depending on how it's set up. You can change the screen as well, but you want to come in here and swipe down from the top and then hit auto start stop off. If that's something that drives you nuts, you definitely want to do that. So that's something I do upon startup every day when I drive this thing, because I hate that. The old ones used to have a physical button here that you could actually bypass with a harness, a resistor harness. Now it's obviously, there's so much technology built into these new vehicles that you can no longer do that. So like I said, you have to come in, hover your finger over top of the middle of the screen, and then turn this on and off. Yeah, a few other settings in here as well, but nothing too crazy. And yeah, let's go into vehicle settings. You can adjust screen, time, date, language, keypad language, Wi-Fi, yada, yada, yada. Nothing too terribly exciting in here, in my opinion. You can connect, one good thing is you can actually connect 2 phones. So I could have like my Android running wirelessly right now, and then also I could have, say, my other work cell phone connected via Bluetooth. So I can simultaneously take phone calls, which I do think is kind of cool. Yeah. Anyways, that's pretty much it, I would say, for the interior. So just something to keep in mind is that when you're driving, you're constantly taking your eyes off the road and navigating down to the infotainment center and clicking away, which I find is really a huge pain. Wheel goes, we have a few things here as well. So we have heated steering on here. You can float in between different screens on your dash as well. So infinite adjustability as far as your dash goes. You do have paddle shifters behind here as well, which I think is a nice touch. Not that I use it a whole lot. Sometimes for fun, I'll put it in sport mode funny. It just advances the timing and changes the shift points. The other thing it does is it plays more of an exhaust note through the speakers. Super weird, but you get used to it and it actually does sound pretty decent, but it's not actually coming from the engine. Remember, this is a 4-cylinder turbocharged engine, but when you go into sport mode, they really make it sound like it's a V8, so kind of fun. Over here you have your adaptive cruise as well, so you can change your proximity to the vehicle in front of you, and you can adjust all these settings as well. So it does have fully adaptive cruise abilities, as well as steering around, like down the highways. When you have this thing on lane keep, it will stay in the middle of the lane, and it basically runs and navigates off of a camera built up in here behind the windshield in front of the rear view mirror. So I think that's pretty slick. Super sensitive though. I mean, if you get a fly or a snowflake in front of your camera, it seems to kick you out all the time. So you're constantly having to go back in, and it takes about 2 to 5 minutes for the system to reset. So yeah, once again, that is a huge pain in the ass with Volkswagen that I have never had on any other vehicle, right? So typically with driving aids, they just seem to work. This thing is constantly kicking you out. It's very annoying. And it has something to do, I spoke with the dealer about this, and apparently it has something to do with the camera position up in behind the windshield. It almost needs to be shimmed, like it's pointing a little too aggressively down to the ground. So yeah, if you get blowing snow across the highway or anything like that, it seems to kick you out. So I would say it only works for me about 60% of the time. The rest of the time I'm using regular cruise with lane keep, which basically bounces you off the white or yellow line. But when it does work, the full adaptive cruise and self-steering is actually pretty cool. But yeah, works 60% of the time, so a real pain in the... Anyways, guys, I think that kind of wraps up some of the quick interior features. Hopefully that helps you with the auto start. There's just really no way around it anymore. So what do I like about it? It's pretty peppy. It's like 269 horsepower, so not bad for a 4-cylinder turbocharged engine. Ride's okay. My dislikes are, for the price point, for a $65,000 mid-range SUV, I think that it could be a lot quieter. I think the windshield could be thicker. You know, you get a pebble hit this window and you get another crack on it. It's unbelievable. I've never seen such a cheap windshield in my life. But so yeah. And then the other thing I would say, the third thing, is just the electronics. It has a plethora of electronics, and everything is built within the infotainment center. So, I mean, if that center screen ever died on you here, I'm not sure what would happen, but it would not be fun at all. So, and then, yeah, the fourth thing is probably the shifter, like I mentioned. You know, this little chicken nugget nub that sticks out is not, it doesn't create a flat surface to put your laptop down, so that really sucks. The other thing is USB-C only, so you don't have USB 3.0, it's USB-C throughout, which I know everybody's migrating that way, but it's kind of a pain. I will scroll down here as well, and you guys can see this is what your charging area looks like. So there is a little door here that slides in and out as well. But yeah, you have 2 USB-C ports here, and then you also have wireless charging here as well. This area gets very hot. There's not a lot of ventilation, but that is a place that you can throw your cell phone down and charge everything wirelessly. Cup holders are okay. You know, once again, you can fit a water bottle in here, not terrible. You definitely won't be able to get a big gulp in there, but yeah, glove box, decent space. But yeah, those are probably my biggest gripes with this vehicle, are the windshield and the cracks. I don't know if you can see that or not, but I have several on here. And as mentioned, this thing has 25,000 kilometers exactly on it now as well. So yeah, it's all right, but not fantastic in my opinion. Anyways, let's head outside and have a look at the engine bay and wrap up this video. So over here on the left side as well, quick, you can mirror adjustment, windows, child lock, and then down below here is actually your electronic tailgate, which you can open from here with this button, but you cannot close with this button. So to close your tailgate, you cannot do it from inside the cabin. You physically need to walk back and hit that button that we saw earlier on the rear gate, which again is not ideal. I have other vehicles that are a lot less money than this thing, almost half, and they have a lot of those features built in. They have the perfect blend of physical buttons here for my heated seats. They have a lift gate that I can open and close from the interior, and etc. So anyways, yeah, let's go outside and have a look at the engine bay. We will unlock the hood here and then go have a look. The funny thing is that you cannot actually unlock the hood using this latch without having the door open. So when the door is closed, this piece of plastic mitigates you from actually physically opening the hatch. But anyways, just to note, not a big deal. Here we go. This is our 4-cylinder turbocharged engine. So it's an inline 4 turbo, 269 horse. At least they did put a shock absorber here on the hood, so you don't have to use a rod to hold it up. And then yeah, once your hood's popped, you sneak in here and then hit this latch to open it up. There you go, guys. I hope that this video was informative. Yeah, I'm a Volkswagen lover. I've had lots of, VWs and Volkswagens in my life, and I've never really had any issues. I do think they're missing the mark a little bit, to be honest with you, on these. For the price point, I think they need to pack a few more features. I think the interior could be a little bit more refined, the ride could be better, and it could be a little quieter all around. Like I said, they are getting very expensive. So just something to keep in mind, If I was to do this process all over again, I would probably look at like some different models and brands like Mitsubishi Outlander, some of the Ford SUVs, etc. So anyways, keep that in mind. I hope you found this informative, and until next time, thanks for watching. Cheers. Don't forget to comment down below and what you liked and disliked, and let me know if there's something else you want me to review. Next one up on the list on my next video will be the brand new Buick Envista subcompact SUV. It looks wicked. I have one of them as well, and it's a fantastic little unit, so stay tuned to check that out next time. Thanks, and cheers.